Hello and welcome to another round of Modern. We have Jake Landash playing Grixis Shadow and Michael Mapson playing Green White Amulet Titan. But joining me today is
Michael Mapson.
I like the pause there.
I have to think about who I am. You know, sometimes I forget.
We have the Amulet player incarnate. So why have you been playing the Green White version? It's like gonna be a player interview.
So
instead of a commentary about the match.
One of the complaints people have had with Titan is, you know, it's really good, but Shadow's been one of the most popular decks, and it has kind of struggled to beat Shadow since Modern Horizons 2. A lot of changes have come to the Shadow deck. Like, Adrenaline Lock has been pretty impactful. Unholy Heat gives them a way to kill Primeval Titan that they previously did not have.
I could name it today.
Ragavan coming down early can be a huge issue if you don't have Arboreal Grazer. Dress Down is a nightmare of a card, right? It kills Cultivator Colossus on sight, but it also often will stop your Primeval Titan from finding lands, and then they have the Unholy Heat or Terminate, and then it's like, okay, I spent 6 mana and did nothing, and you spent 3 mana and moved on with your life.
6 mana time walked myself.
Yeah, and they're down an extra card than you are, but like actually they're not even, because Dress Down cycles.
Yeah, why does that card draw?
I don't know. But the white sideboard is largely to beat this matchup. It's been very, very effective. We've got Rest in Pieces, we've got Prismatic Endings, and those cards come in clutch. Oh, and Celestial Purges.
Purge is cool. I didn't realize. So when you were first giving me like the pitch about it, I didn't realize it hit permanents. I only thought it hit creatures. I was like, it's whatever. But no, it hitting permanents is really cool.
Yep. So it's Blood Moon and Alpine Moon.
Yes, it does. What basics are those? Are those unhinged? They're one of the unsets, right?
They're the last stuff. So
Unstable.
Yeah, that sounds right. Unstable.
Okay.
I really like them.
Yeah, they're really nice looking.
I only have the Forest. I got them specifically for this deck. We hit an awkward point in this game where it's like I started off. Basically, this is exactly what I like to see in this matchup, like Razors coming down as blockers, but then I bricked on lands, and Jake also bricked on lands. It was just kind of a lot of us staring at each other.
I will say the one thing that's interesting with
Double heated.
oh God, getting double heated on your Dryad.
Yeah, that felt like an absolute win for me, especially when I didn't have a land to back it up. Like,
yeah, it was golden.
Yeah, I mean, having the Dryad in play is always nice, especially when I already have a Valakut in play, but, like, here we go, now I get to slam this Titan and you don't have Unholy Heats. I mean, he also didn't have Delirium, but...
I guess you didn't actually say its name.
Angrily pointing at the Dress Down.
Look, I don't like that card.
Me either. You and I have talked about it a lot. I am also not a fan of Dress Down.
And it's... For the viewers, it's not even just like, I don't like the card because it's good against me, I also don't like it from a design standpoint.
I don't like the card because it's good against me. But not the design as well. Interestingly, it doesn't turn off the land ability, or the Dryad's ability to type change the lands.
Correct.
Which I think a lot of people miss. Like one of our Titan players lost their game 3 this week, and they came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, you know, like he just kept Dress Down, and why I Dryad and playing Valakut." And I was like, "Okay, and?" He's like, "Doesn't that stop it?" I was like, "No, you're golden. You should have killed him." But there's Mapson killing Jake.
Primeval Titan, good.
I'm going. I have the pact in hand. You're dead. Ugh. So in this matchup, you said what exactly? Do you remember what you cited?
Yeah. So my sideboard is very extensive. It's kind of a transformational sideboard, if you will. I really am not playing an Amulet post board. I cut 4 Urza Sagas, 4 Amulet of Vigor, 1 Expedition Map, 2 Azusas. How many cards am I at? 9,
4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so I poured out 1 more card. Oh wait, no, 11. 11's right. That's what I board out. And then I board in 3 Prismatic Endings, 2 Celestial Purge, 2 Rest in Peace, which is all-star in this matchup, 2 Endurances, and a Cavern of Souls. Oh, and an Engineered Explosives.
Okay.
So you're really just playing a slower game plan. Like, you don't want to have Amulet in your deck because it's such a bad top deck against a Thoughtseize deck. You don't want Urza Sagas because it's so weak to Alpine Moon, which they always have. The Sagas, or like the Constructs, are good for grinding, but they're really weak against Stress Down. I also board out Cultivator Colossus, I didn't mention. And you board out Cultivator Colossus because it is terrible against Stress Down, it dies right away. So you just board in a bunch of interaction. You play a slower game, you kind of one-for-one them, except Rest in Peace gives you a lot of card advantage because it blanks half their deck, and then eventually you'll find a Titan and win.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I do really like the Transformer sideboard idea. When I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, that was actually a thing that a lot of people used to do, was have a Transformer sideboard. So I've always just appreciated that concept. I think they called it smoke screening in that game, where you would like smoke screen into a different engine. But I'm a big fan of it. Got the turn 1 Arboreal Grixis. There was a person who made a post on the Modern Magic subreddit, the tournament report, and they played Titan. And they're talking about their matchup with Hammer, and they're like, yeah, turn 1, they kept the turn 2 hand, but I kept a hand with an 0-3 with a reach, so naturally I won that one. And I was like, okay, that's great. I love Arboreal Grixis.
Yeah, the card is really good in the current format.
Yeah. Now, do you like current format? Grixis is probably the answer, right? But like, do you like that one or Soccer Tribe Scout better overall?
I mean, I don't think Tribe Scout will ever be playable again, but I preferred playing with it.
Okay.
There was just so much you could do with like people ghost guarding you, and you could be like in response, put this land in. Having instant speed Bajuka Bog against like Dredge and stuff was always really sweet. Getting to like, I don't know, it was just, it made for a lot of.
Listen, it was Red Blue.
You got to play Radiant Fountain and play so many times. So many times. Just so play. Burn could never win. It was awesome.
I was so ready to be like, Steam Vent, see, that's the one I always know.
Burn can never win. That's awesome. No. So what is it exactly that like makes Tribe Scout not playable anymore?
Ren and 6 is one of the most played cards in the format.
1 toughness creatures.
Prismatic Ending.
Mm-hmm.
Ragavan.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon's Rage Channeler. Fatal Push. Abrupt Decay. Unholy Heat.
Lightning Bolt. Just name all the things that can kill it.
So yeah, it's it doesn't survive.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Do you remember when Lava Dart got printed into the format? Yeah, that was brutal.
Hey, Prowess isn't around anymore. Well, I guess there's the Wash deck, which I haven't seen terribly many of. Jake also just doesn't look like he has a good hand here, or at the moment, right? He's still off on lands again?
I think he makes his land drops this game.
Okay.
He's playing Spell Pierce sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't bring it in this matchup, but I would Spell Pierce that so hard if I had it.
So for the upcoming Star City, do you expect Grixis or Death Shadow to be the most represented deck?
Easily.
Discard bottom.
Do you think it's because like people believe it's the best deck, or do you think it's people just like to play Grixis?
Both. I mean, it's definitely the kind of deck people like to play. It is a very good deck, right? Like, you're going to look at the numbers on MTG Goldfish, and you're going to see how popular it is. You also have streamers promoting it, like Meebo has been playing it nonstop, Misplaced Gender was playing it nonstop, Demonic Tutors was on it for like a week, Aspiring Spike stayed on it for like a week, and you know, he doesn't really stay on decks.
Yeah.
You also have people who get their information from Star City, and you know, Corey Baumeister winning the last Invitational with it. Yeah, that was a while ago, but you know, it sticks out. And, you know, he still writes for them and talks about how good the deck is.
As a Corey seems to be a big fan of Death Shadow. Successful iteration, I think number 3. I think it's either 3 turns straight he's done it.
Exile.
Card good.
Card very good. I love it. Iteration. It's one of my favorite cards to resolve in the format right now.
Yeah, that's, I was like, oh, I didn't know you were playing it again.
Jake has a Torok in hand. Dread Cantor, I think is the full name. I like that card a lot.
Cast a bauble?
Especially in like a format where Solitude, or like in a meta where Solitude is getting played a lot.
Yeah, with Prismatic
Sure.
thing being around.
Yeah, I actually don't know if that's main deck or not, but I know he was very happy to have it in against me because of my white removal. And the white removal isn't super common in Amulet, but I played against Jake the previous week too, and like we had talked about my plans, so he kind of knew what was up.
Yeah.
He lost to the white removal the week before. He's prepared.
Yeah, I think it's a sideboard thing for him. Now, I do think, because him and I did talk about, he has different Torah cards. Jake, no. Yeah, him and I did talk about, like, the sideboard. Like, I know he sided out the Death Shadows, and I think you talked to him about that, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understood where he was coming from. He was trying to, like, juke the removal.
Yeah.
And, Shadow is somewhat weak against my plan, but he was also, he ordered out certain cards and was like, I'm really trying to kill you fast. And I was like, if you're trying to kill me fast, taking out your biggest creature doesn't make sense, right? And he was like, oh yeah, when you put it like that.
Yeah. It's cool, like, watching, because Jake has played, like, he used to play Elves, and he moved on to... like Jake played Elves, he played Tron, and he's moving more into like tempo decks. He had the red black rock deck. Now he plays Grixis.
I didn't know he played Tron. It's good that I didn't know that because I still like him.
Yeah. We don't respect Tron players, and it's a comment only for Dan McCauley. He's probably gonna watch the video. How do you feel about Tron in the current format?
I mean, just why would you play it?
I'll draw Lurrus.
Like, what's the reason?
Turn 3, you play Karn Liberator.
Sure. So, I mean, like, it's probably not the worst thing to be doing, but everything people do is just so powerful. I've seen plenty of games where people resolve Karn and then they just lose anyway, so, like, if your deck is doing the thing that it wants to do, and you still lose games that aren't particularly close, like, that's not a good sign.
Did you consider just letting it resolve instead? I did, and I decided no.
Tron no longer catches the rest in peace.
Which is not what we like to see.
No.
This game's definitely getting away from me. We're running into one of the issues that Amulet has, which is like, I'm kind of all set up, and I'm just like, waiting to find a Titan.
Yeah.
Like, where are you?
Have you had any, like, color conflictions with the white shocklands instead of having a breeding pool?
Hasn't been an issue yet, no.
Okay, cool.
There has been a couple times where I'm like, oh man, I wish I could cast this white card and I don't have a land. But yeah, no, I've been fine on the blue mana.
How has the Kabir Crossroads been? Are you still playing it?
I am playing the Kabir Crossroads. It's been fine. It's not great, but it's not really costing me games. There have been times I've looked at it and I've been like, why can't you just be a Radiant Fountain? But I don't think it's actually cost me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it has allowed me to resolve spells. And resolving my spells is pretty important. Notably, thinking about it, like the Kabir Crossroads actually makes the Handwear Battlements plan slightly better if I were on that, like Handwear Battlements and Valentine's instead of the Boros Garrison Slayer Stronghold package. I'm still on Boros Garrison because just I can't get away from like the turn 2 kills, but I don't know. I feel like over time I could see myself making that switch if I stayed on this list.
Okay.
And then also that makes even more sense with you transitioning into a slower deck post board because like Sunhome is really there for these fast combo kills and like that doesn't exist.
We're gonna go for the purge on the Lurrus. She's gonna get dressed down.
No bueno.
Yeah, I feel like this game's definitely run away from you. It's got Thoughtseize, and there's only a Sanctuary. Yeah, it's not bad.
Cast a bubble.
Sequencing my lanes this game was like really awkward because like as it turns out, he boarded out Quilligan's Command, which they often do, but it's like, I kind of like to have 2 cards in my... Like, I like to have an extra card in my hand so they can't, like, draw step, discard something important. But then it was also, like, trying to figure out, like, okay, I kind of want to maximize my mana in case I, like, chain off Explorers, but I also, like, want to keep a bounce land in case, like, I draw a Simic Growth Chamber, because then I want to play the Simic Growth Chamber so that I can have the mana to transmute to Larry West, but then I need bounce land to pick up this Larry West when I do it. It was just, like, a lot to think about. And none of it ended up mattering, which is almost more frustrating.
That's understandable.
Oh, I'm gonna cast it. Yep.
A lot of mana. Looks like we picked up a Titan.
I missed the ball.
He can drop it.
Unfortunately, yeah, he's got Terminate mana available.
Yeah. Do you have the bog? You said you have the bog on the main board for this?
Yep.
I don't remember what you get here. I think it could be a crossroads or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a game 2, so...
Yeah.
How many doesn't matter. I went with this because I wanted to gain life in case... I kind of assumed the Titan was going to get removed, so I didn't want him to just have lethal, right? Like, he's got 8 power in play. So I got it, picked up the Kabir Crossroads, and replayed it.
I assumed it was not long for this world.
That's right. Yeah, Terminate the Titan. Yeah, he has second Terminate, Ragavan, Torok, and Unholy Heat.
So close.
Jake is sitting pretty. Jake has interaction for days.
Yeah, if he had one more land, he would have lethal this turn. As it stands, he does not.
Dash in orangutan.
Oh yeah, for the Torok.
Combat, attack with everything.
I don't want.
Trigger.
Yeah, it puts me to 1.
And your top card.
Basically dead.
Yeah,
I would have liked that one.
it's the good Titan, the best
You
Titan.
would. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it.
Wow, what a waste.
But
That's the best one.
second main. I'm going to use the treasure. I'm going to kick this other Torok.
I don't know if casting the Torok there was the correct thing.
It absolutely is.
Just to get this list. Oh, yeah, to pick up the Kabir Crossroads again.
Does it
No.
save me?
No.
I mean, it just takes me off of being able to, like, do anything.
That's fair.
I don't know what would have saved me.
I would just think with all the interaction in his hand, maybe he would like
But that's
keep
also
the
why
mana
I
open
like
for the Terminate if you do top deck another Titan.
That's fair. I mean, I actually just don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I don't think you can play through where
I'm not
where it
winning
was.
that game. Feels bad, you know? Just land up my whole sideboard for Shadow and draw those cards, and then I just lose anyways.
Wins game 1, loses the sideboard game.
But, you know, it happens sometimes, right? Like, I didn't draw a Titan for a million turns. Like, I drew the Rest in Peace way too late. Like, the Rest in Peace actually resolves. Well, it doesn't really matter in that game, because Torok was the all-star, really. But
Yeah, you cut off like a couple of the bobble draws from the Laris. So
and
maybe
the Drown in the Log, the second
yeah.
one.
So maybe save yourself in the long run. I do really like the Rest in Peace.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's like absurdly good.
yeah.
It's Drown in the Lock, Kroxa, Unholy Heat, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Loris.
This is the game where you bottom the Titan, right?
Yes.
That's
Which
yeah.
feels really weird, but you don't want Titan until later in the game. Right, like these are the cards that I want early.
Really wish that these were.
And I don't want him like tearing apart my hand, taking something important and being like, oh, now I just have this Titan that I'm like 3 turns away from playing. Right, like I just want to get the board situated, and when the time comes, I can find another one.
Yeah. E on 1, pick up. Okay.
Tap. Draw.
Yeah, the other thing that was awkward about this hand was having the lead on Castle Garenbrig, but I just felt like the hand was strong enough. And I mean, this was also a mulligan to 6.
Yeah, I mean, if you draw like the untapped land, you can just slam a Rest in Peace.
But I can slam it anyways because that's the Sanctuary.
I meant like on turn 2.
Ah, yeah, gotcha.
But yeah,
Yep, it's fine. No, it's fine. There's recipes on the board. I don't care.
It's not on the board.
Dash or
I'm
Ragavan.
gonna dash a Ragavan.
Swing 2. Sorry. Treasure.
Hate it. Kids around engineered explosives.
I did realize it.
Ragavan's just a good card.
I feel very left
I'll
out.
pass.
Can't see what he hit. It looks like a Crumbling Vestige.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which, honestly,
Oh, is it in the
Vestige
deck?
is one of my
Yeah.
favorite lands in the deck.
I don't care if you want to grab it.
No,
Uh,
I'm not gonna grab it.
If you're wondering what Jake was just doing there, that was him noticing that he forgot to reveal his Loris. It's shuffled into his deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like grabbed his sideboard because I was like, "Where's the Loris?" And I checked his sideboard. Or no, someone in the chat was like, "Did he side it? You know,
Yeah.
did he side in something 3 CMC or did he just forget to reveal it?" So I checked the sideboard, didn't see it in there. Nothing.
Steinmeier.
Nice. We've all done it.
Monkey.
And so what I was debating on before I played that last Rest in Peace was, do I just want to blow up this Ragavan? But Ragavan doesn't do that much in the matchup, right? Like, he's not going to get anything from my deck that he can play other than maybe an Explorer, and it's like, I don't really care if he plays an Explorer. It does let him get up on mana, but like, I just felt like that didn't matter if his cards still matter.
Yeah, I was like, if you're blank, yep, there's a blank in half of his deck.
I also did offer to him that he could just fish the Loris out and we could pretend he revealed it. I mean, obviously you can't do that at Comp REL, but like, this is a regular weekly for friends. Like, I don't care. Like, I only want to take it as competitively as my opponent does.
Yeah.
Dorsey. False. Surveil.
Taking the second Rest in Peace because it's the only choice, but it doesn't matter because you cannot remove the one that's in play.
Yeah, there's nothing Grixis plays that kills enchantments, right?
Correct.
Wait, I picked up this.
This was me not knowing what what card is which.
Draw.
So how come you picked up the Temple Garden, not the Garenberg?
Because I can play a Titan next turn.
Well, the Garenberg comes up. If you keep
yeah.
it, yeah,
I'm sure I had a reason.
that's right.
I don't know what my reason was. I don't care what my reason was.
You wanted to shock it in to prove a point. Trying to see what else is in his hand. Yeah,
Oh no, it's because I don't need to. It's because I can play a Titan without playing another land first, right? Like,
oh sure, yeah.
based off of whatever Jake does, I might want to change my. Like, I might want to pick up a land and replay it or something.
Combat. I'll swing with both. I'll block them.
So I block the monkey, and he kills it.
Surveil. Leave that on.
I was chipping at you with the shadow. I mean the shadow, Darcy.
Yeah. So I think I blow up the explosives here. Like, as long as I had the Grazer out, I wasn't going to. It's like kind of awkward letting him have a Dragon's Rage Channeler because it does help him like filter through his deck.
Nope.
But I just like, I don't know that he doesn't have Shadow in his deck. So like, 1 damage doesn't really matter. Like, I was kind of trying to hit something juicier.
Draw. Combat.
That makes sense. And then like waiting to do it on the attack trigger also makes sense for you to do, right? Because like if you blow it up during your turn or at the end of his last turn, like he keeps playing another Ragavan. His dash is good,
Dorsey.
good mechanic.
Bobble.
There's a Darcy into a bauble.
Got a lot of mana.
Nothing good to do with
So what do you think your win percentage has been against like Grixis deck now that you've made these changes? Have you guys like rapidly increased?
So
Or
I was avoiding answering that earlier because it's kind of a bit of a spoiler alert, but I haven't lost to Grixis
okay.
in the past 2 weeks.
I wasn't sure if like you have like once or not, so
No.
I was like, maybe I'll ask you the same question. Spoiler: Maps and wins. End the video. Cut to black.
Yeah, no, I haven't lost to Grixis in a couple weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, I think Grixis has been the only. There's been 2 of the 3 decks that I've lost to. I'll tighten it up since like I don't know, a while. Since before the shop championships, I think.
You're right, that's not a good one.
There's a cavern.
And all my counter spells are turned off by that card.
Whatever, giant, go.
He's pointing out it basically doesn't matter what I name because
Yeah.
Drown in the Log doesn't counter anything. It does counter Summoner's Pact, but like
Is Alpine
Yeah,
Moon
whatever.
on the board? Or in hand, do the lands lose the ability?
Do you know what the Alpine Moon's on? Or is it on Valakut?
One Alpine Moon names Valakut and one names Urza Saga. The first one names Valakut, I think.
Okay.
Actually, I think the first one named Saga, and I'm just like, ha ha ha, that's not in my deck, dummy. I don't say that, but...
No, you definitely do.
Name Urza Saga. Pass. Draw. Tap land.
If you draw 14 more lands, his Dragons of Channel is going to get there.
True. So I fetched here. I usually wouldn't fetch just randomly like this, but I knew my bottom card was a Primeval Titan. My top card was also Primeval Titan, which I did not know.
That's right. That's why you shouted during this match. I was trying to remember, like literally like 5 seconds ago. I was like, why did he yell during this game? That's why.
Yeah, there was a loud expletive.
2 turns later, I was going to draw another one.
I think I actually draw a Titan this turn anyways, though.
You do. I'm pretty sure you do.
I have 1 card in hand.
Well, dress down.
It's always wild watching you like
That is fair.
when you draw Titan, because it's always like sometimes like the best time when you were playing Brady last week when you went draw Titan, play it, and he's like he removes it, and you went all right,
I get all the
draw Titan, play it.
Give me a good one.
I don't know, they like to travel in packs.
I'm about it.
Surveil. Been a scalding turn. Draw card.
So he slams the dress down. I go like, this sucks, and he's like, I mean, I think the game's over anyway. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, probably. And then I think I top deck a second one. I don't actually remember.
Stays there forever.
But if you do, it goes back to them traveling packs.
Wait, but it has no abilities. That's a
Correct.
Scalding Tarn, Lustrous
Scalding
Marble.
Tarn. I cast a bauble. I'm gonna bin a Drown in the Lock. And I'm gonna bauble myself.
You should probably keep the ground in the log. Card's really good.
I'm gonna bauble myself. I'm gonna crack the Scalding Turn.
Yep. No.
I do wish I had the
It
Lotus
is
for the
absurd
claw.
the amount of work the rest of these can do in this deck.
Yeah, the cards are just really good.
It's so strong.
I feel like what's going to happen.
People are doing something similar in Legacy right now, like in Doomsday. Some people are playing Leyline of the Void against Ilford. Shut off Murktide and Dragon's Rage Channeler. It's just
That would be
good.
Yeah.
I would like to draw a second engineered explosives. That's what I would like.
Now, have you played against like Dredge with the new changes?
He did.
Cut me to the terminal, please.
It was not close. I'm sure that is not a surprise.
Yeah.
I have also played against Living End. Also not close.
You just slam it. Have you played against Oops yet?
No, I've not.
But I feel like Titan's just faster on average than Oops is anyways, right? But
They're about the same. I mean, like, if I know that there's not going to be interaction, like, I can mold to a hand that's going to kill first. I don't know.
Trigger.
I mean, I'm definitely bringing in the recipes there.
yeah. So attacking in, getting a Tulare West and Bounce Land probably, right?
Yep.
Just setting up for the Titan or the Dryad or whatever.
Well, the Dryad doesn't do anything, right? Because we know that one of the Alpine Moons is stopping it. And I don't have a second engineer exposed to these.
I forgot about the Valakut.
Yeah,
Alpine Moon.
I could draw an answer for it. I guess like I could draw a Prismatic Ending or a Purge.
Yeah. Ending on Alpine Moon. That's another good thing.
But I'm setting up so that I can just play a second Titan and paste it next turn.
Yeah.
And then I got the question, why do I not transmute here? And the answer is simple. I don't want him to draw a discard spell.
Makes sense.
Transmuting it now actually seems kind of bad, right? Because you have discard and I didn't consider that.
This game should be pretty wrapped up here.
Yeah, I think I'm just like in the tank on if I'm supposed to transmute or not. Or are we on his turn?
Looks like we might still be thinking about transmuting.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. Someone should have called me out. We were probably also talking.
Yeah. There's a high chance that Jake was saying like, I don't think I can win. What do you have for 2 mana?
Iteration.
The dog. The best 2 mana spell in the deck.
Marginal deck thinning time.
Yeah, but he fetches to thin first. Which, thinning marginal, but, you know, this is going to be his last turn, so...
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm not sure what he wants to find. What, terminate, dress down, or like his 2 best finds off of this expressive iteration?
Well, that doesn't do it, right? It has to be double terminate. Can you cast that?
He can.
I don't know that he plays that many.
Would terminate dress down not do it? Terminate the Titan, and then...
Why? I mean, I guess he could...
Dress down in response to the other Titan.
I guess
still hasted, but it's not trample. He only has 1 creature. The Dryad attack. Yeah, no.
Actually, yeah, no, because...
You need... Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yeah. Well, what if I tell you that I'm just conceding now? Does it really matter? I just die from trample.
Alright, Jake's gonna scoop it up. We got maps and winning 2-1 with Green White Amulet Titan over Grixis Death Shadow. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great rest of your day.